Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about The Amazing Race 33, brand new season. It's back.
I can't believe it's time to talk about it.
I know.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
Yes.
There's that link
for you.
Head over there and support us.
Y'all, it's a new season. Y'all,
against all odds.
I mean, the fact that they pulled this off, I don't know that. I don't know how long Amazing Race is going to last. I'm worried that the new normal just does not work for this show, but I'm so grateful that they were able to figure out a way to finish a season that they had already started. So we are going to talk about some of this production details that have been released, some talk about how they were able to make this season happen. We have a cast announcement, so we're going to go through and look at the teams. That's what we're going to do. Yeah. And hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Sarah, I feel like I need to talk some things through with you because I'm a little confused on how the shutdown sort of affected production and what their solve was and which teams were there before and are not back and all of that. But
that's a fun little math thing that we're going to get into. Save that for just a little bit here before we get into the teams. But math is involved because we know numbers and they don't
add up.
All add up. So let's talk it through. Well, first off, what we do know is that season 33 started shooting early in 2020. Remember early 2020?
That was a beautiful time.
We were carefree. We were out and about, gallivanting all over the world, going to restaurants and movie theaters.
Gyms and yoga studios.
Oh my God.
All kinds of indoor places. Yes.
Remember life? Well, they were shooting a show.
They were shooting The Amazing Race. They were in England and Scotland. They had started, of course, in America, and they headed over to London, I think, first, and made it through 3 legs before they had to shut it down.
Math problem, guys. 3 legs. They did do 3 legs. Then, the world came to a screeching halt and everyone was sent home and they put it all on pause.
Yeah. It was interesting to read how many backup plans they tried to map out, because they were tracking the coronavirus before, that we went into lockdown in America. They were everywhere. They had to know what the status was all over the world. So they were keeping close track. And I was reading that they mapped out a version where they would just go through South America, if the rest of the world was going into lockdowns and whatnot. But ultimately they decided it's just not going to happen right now. So they put a big pause on everything.
Right. And I find it interesting that they didn't just do a US version, but I guess that would have just not been enough, not cool enough, not big enough. I'm not sure. But luckily, in the fall, sometime in the fall, because they didn't announce it exactly, but sometime in the fall, they put together a private plane. They loaded up some of the teams, not all of them, and they headed back out to completely different countries. The ones that had lower infection rates, that was a note they hit. Also, areas where there's nobody there.
Nobody there. They literally just went into the wilderness. They were you're not going to be in cities or towns. You're just going into empty fields and, deserts or, winter wonderlands. I don't know where they are exactly. I do think that it mentioned that they go through a lot of Mediterranean countries because that is where there were a lot of low infection rates. So we'll
Yeah,
see a lot
they're
of
going to
that.
spend more time in each country instead of going boom, boom, boom. They're doing like 2 to 3 legs in a country. So they only hit a few countries. I believe Switzerland is one of them. Lots of
Yep.
wide open spaces in Switzerland. They mentioned
Hello.
like a French island. So like maybe no
Corsica,
one's
yes.
on that island.
Yeah.
I think Portugal was
Greece.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where they're going. No India, no markets in
No.
India kind of vibe. This is going to be a little bit different. Another different vibe besides private plane. I mean, that means no rushing to an airport.
Yeah.
No, did you make the
I
first
know.
flight?
I know. I'm
This,
kind of bummed about that.
yeah, everyone's going to be jumbled up and starting anew for each leg.
And they said there will be like no taxis and no public transportation. Like,
No public transportation at all.
yeah, they're just getting themselves around wherever
Which
they are.
honestly, self-driving is a lot of fun. Okay.
Yeah.
These people don't drive stick. I don't know
I
why.
was just about to say. Exactly.
They don't drive stick. They don't know where they are. They don't have, their GPS map on their phone. Self-driving is something I enjoy. So I'm here for that. I'm here for no taxi screwing up your race because someone else didn't know where they were. Like
I
you'd be
kind of like
lost.
that. I kind of like that. I just like the drama of like, where's our taxi driver? Like it's devastating whenever it like ruins somebody's leg. But the taxi drama is some of the richest, like trying to communicate with that driver. And the driver's like, of course I know where I'm going. And they have no clue.
No clue. And then they're on the phone with their taxi driver friends and they're like, do you know this?
Right. And people are just stuck in a cab for hours at a time. Like that's some of the best drama. But there are many opportunities on The Amazing Race for drama, and I'm sure they will find them. So, I'm not writing this season off because there's no taxis.
There's plenty of people who are going to be lost anyway.
Yeah.
And we will have that confusion, which is fun.
Yeah.
There. Everyone, once they get off a plane or once they arrive at a task and they have a judge there, every single person has been handpicked, tested, vaxxed. Those are the people they're interacting with. No one else, no one on the streets, none of that.
Yeah, they just have to be, these like TV studios have these teams of lawyers and like all that safety stuff it was like a priority before, certainly. And now it's just like to the nth degree. So they're just not messing around and not taking any chances. So
I think it's going to be a different vibe. Obviously, I feel like we're going to notice these differences.
Listen,
even though I think the EPs are like, you won't even notice.
Sure. I mean, they're just going to Europe. That's the reality. They go to Europe and they come back to Los Angeles, and that's what it is. We're not anywhere in Africa, anywhere in South or Central America. Like, so it's a smaller scope here. But I think the game will be largely the same. It's just like fewer flights and fewer languages to, struggle through. So,
yeah, I think overall we're going to get the vibe of racing around the world. Teams are still going to be, win a leg, eliminated. Like we still have the race. And so I am extremely excited. I will be fascinated to see how they handle showing us, because the premiere, you guys, we're going to watch on January 5th. It's a 2-hour premiere, starts at 8 p.m. is going to be early 2020. Like we are probably going to be like shook at the people running around without masks.
Okay, here was one thing that I wanted to talk through with you, and you've sort of already answered the question I'm about to ask, but let's talk it out. Because in some of the stuff I was reading, they were like, we just decided to do a hard restart of the race and start it in Zurich, Switzerland. Yes. Does that mean that they're not going to air these first 3 legs that
they
went
did a hard
to
reset
England and Scotland
after 3 episodes? So the first 3 episodes are the old original episodes.
Yeah.
So that
but
even
they didn't
takes
restart the race like from the beginning. They were like, We're picking
No.
up from where we left off, but we're not going to pick up in Glasgow where we stopped. We're just going to go to Zurich.
Right. That's what they mean. Like they had to redo the map, repick the places and the challenges, and they weren't going to go back to Scotland. Yeah. So the third episode, presumably, unless it's the second episode, because the first one's 2 hours. Like, I don't know how many episodes. It's 3 legs. So after the third leg, it sounds like things are addressed on that third leg of like, things are iffy. We might dial back or take a beat, thinking they had like a couple weeks and then they could come back. But they all leave. And then we're going to not come back to Scotland and have them standing on that mat where they finished. They're going to have to address it in some way. I know that Phil like sits down with each returning team and talks about like, oh my God, it's been over a year. How is the pandemic? Some of these people lost family members to COVID. Yeah. Like there's a whole different vibe. So we will see that. We will see those talks. We will see those conversations. And then we will start a different version of the race.
Right. And I did read that they filmed some kind of transitional in Glasgow. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. But they filmed some kind of transition out of there.
Right.
To, just to have. They were like, we have no idea what's going to happen, but like, let's film something of us leaving Scotland. So maybe they did, come up with something pretty clever that semi-seamlessly takes us from Scotland to Switzerland, where we're restarting the race. But I'm excited to see sort of how they make that work. That will be interesting.
So the first 3 absolutely counted. We are going to see the first 3 legs air. Those people eliminated are eliminated. Here's where the math comes in. We have 11
Let's
teams.
Do some math.
11 teams. 3 legs would make us think 3 people were eliminated. But what we know is 11 teams return, and 2 of those teams, I'm sorry, not 11, 7.
7. Yeah.
I've messed up your math already. Sorry.
Yeah.
7 teams return, but 2 of those are teams that just couldn't come back. So they're not eliminated.
2 of the teams that are gone.
2 teams do not return because they can't logistically come back.
Okay. So if they could logistically come back, there would be 9 teams returning.
Right. But if there's 3 legs and only 4 people aren't returning, that means in 3 legs, only 2 people are eliminated. That's what we're going to. So in the first 3 legs, we're going to assume there is a non-elimination leg somewhere in there. Maybe it's just the third leg where they're like, oh, we're just leaving and we don't know what's happening, so you're not eliminated.
Right. We haven't even finished this leg in Scotland, so nobody's going home.
Right. That could very possibly be it. But on top of the 2 to 3 that would have been eliminated in the beginning, 2 do not return. So we're going to go through a cast of people who are not necessarily really racing the race, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah. But essentially, 4 teams are gone after those first 3 episodes instead of, we think, would have normally been 2. So there will be 2 teams who run those first 3 legs and just can't finish the race for whatever, extenuating circumstance.
Exactly. And yes, Jack, we've definitely had the first leg.
True.
And honestly, that's my favorite. I hate an elimination on the first leg.
It's really just like,
give people a minute
to go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. Give them some adjustment. Let them learn how hard it is. And even though you're supposed to read a clue, apparently when you actually have clues in your hands, you forget, you got to learn these things.
Yeah.
So I would hope that it's not, the very first leg is non-elimination. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be great. All right. Let's talk about these teams. Who do you want to start with?
Yeah, I think I'm double checking my notes. I'm pretty sure that's it. Well, hold on. I think I have it in alphabetical. Let me pull it up.
Did you before there's the beautiful like, full cast photo.
Yeah.
Before we get into the individual teams, did you see any video of the Amazing Race plane? I found like a YouTube video
Yeah.
of the plane landing at LAX, and it's like got the logo on the side and looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't remember. I read it's like a 757 or something. I know nothing about planes, but I read what it is. And yeah, it has the logo right on the side. I would have loved to have seen,
I know,
I lived
imagine
in Portugal
truly.
and I flew over. I would love it. But I can't wait to see what that's like for them to like board their private plane.
Truly.
Here are our teams. Aren't they adorable?
Look at all 11 of those teams, 4 of which we will not be seeing after the third leg.
Basically, 4 are not a part of the show. So sad. Okay, I believe we're going in alphabetical here-ish with, I guess, Akbar. He's the A.
All right, there we go.
All right, this is Akbar and Sherry Cook.
Yes.
They are married. They are educators and they live in New Jersey.
That's right. When I saw educators, I was like, oh, Lord, is this like the new word for teachers? Like we can't just call them teachers anymore. Is this some sort of new lingo that I need to learn? But he's a principal and she is a teacher. So that makes sense. They've been married for 17 years.
Education. Yes.
Yeah, right. And 3 kids. He's 45. She's 44. I didn't get they were one that the Amazing Race Instagram has been releasing like little 1-minute profiles on some of the teams, like every, handful of days leading up to the premiere. So they were one that had one. So we sort of like start to get a sense of their personality, and they're very like community focused, as educators and have like done things at their schools to like keep kids out of trouble and all that. We learned that they both played basketball in college, so there's some athleticism in their past, which is good. But just a really sweet married couple.
Yeah, I feel like, because we're going to talk about this a little bit with a few different teams here, I feel like the casting team had a directive to find uplifting people with positive stories, because several of them do. And Akbar is a principal in New Jersey, and he spoke about the neighborhood that his school is in had a lot of crime during late hours, 8 p.m. to 11, I think is what he said. So he opened his school. He called it the Lights On program and opened the school from 8 p.m. to 11 or midnight or something like that, and changed the crime stats in that neighborhood. I think that's an incredible story. I enjoyed his positive vibe in general. I feel like these two might communicate well together. I don't know, they're mid-40s. Like, do they have the basketball energy in them still? Because cardio is important on this show.
It's important. And listen, I feel like they were cast for the story, not necessarily for like, these people have trained for 5 years, to get on the Amazing Race. Like, I don't think they're that. So I don't know that we're going to see them in like the second half of the race. I'm not saying they get eliminated in the first 3 legs, but in the second like actual half of the race, I don't see them in the top 5, 6 teams, out of this group. But I'm glad that, people like them are getting some shine on TV, because that's important.
Exactly. I plan to root for them as long as they are on the show. I'm just not sure they're going to be there towards the end. Yes.
That's right. Yeah,
I would agree with you. All right. Next up is Anthony Sadler and Spencer Stone, childhood friends from Sacramento, California.
Yes. And roommates. They are both 29. And Spencer is a public speaker. Anthony is a financial advisor. And I can only imagine that Spencer is an excellent public speaker, given their backstory.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Another theme here is a few of these have quite the what backstories.
Yeah.
Y'all, these two plus a third friend stopped a terrorist attack just 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, 2015.
In France, there is a movie
A
about it.
movie.
Directed by Clint Eastwood. It's called The 1517 to Paris.
Paris, yep.
Because that was the train they were on, just like they were young. They were like early 20s at this time.
Yeah.
You know, childhood friends just like touring Europe. They were going from Amsterdam to Paris.
Yeah.
When a terrorist tried to blow up the train and they stopped it.
Well, he had an AK-47 is what I was reading. He was like armed with a machine gun, and there were like 500 passengers on this train. And yes, they like took him down. I don't know. Did you read anything about a bomb? Like, I didn't necessarily.
No, there wasn't a
Was
bomb, but
a
he
bomb.
had the machine gun. He had knives. Like, he had multiple weapons, and he was ready to go. And the one on the right there is the blonde one is Spencer, and he was at the time in the Air Force. And so he had some skills, and they all had to sort of like get together. But it was like a full-on fight where like they're all wounded and bloody, but they were able to subdue the terrorist, and they were awarded medals in France and in America. Like, there's a photo of them with Obama.
Yeah, the presidents of France and America gave them medals, and like they also got to play themselves in this movie. Like, I was watching the trailer for the movie. I didn't see the movie, but it was like this, you know, the things are like an incredible true story, stopping terrorism, played by the heroes who, you know, actually saved the day, and they're in the movie as themselves.
Yeah, that's where you start to lose me. I don't, I mean, I didn't see the movie probably because I was like, those aren't actors. I want to see actors
I know.
Playing this heightened experience. But the article I read, because I did like end up doing like a deep dive on, I was like, what? As I kept reading more and more. But like the article I read, they were like, we loved it. We met Clint Eastwood, and they wrote the book of the story. And Clint was like, I'd love to direct this movie. And he was like, invite us out to LA. And then he was like, you want us to play the roles? And we were like, oh my God, yeah, we should be actors. Like, at this point, they were in acting class trying to be actors after the movie. And I was like, I can't take y'all serious anymore. Like,
okay.
But yes, you are heroes. Like, that's incredible what they did.
Oh my God, truly. Yeah. I could see them doing well. You know, I'm not sure if they're like, it's been several years since he was like in the Air Force and they were subduing this terrorist, but like they are clearly like fit, capable guys, and they're still young. They're 29 years old. So I do see them in the top half of this pack. Yeah.
I mean, former military, they look strong. Just two dudes in general who are like somewhat halfway fit. They're going to do well.
It's a good bet.
If they're not a returning team, it's because of something going on in their lives. It's not because they got eliminated. Right. We think they'll do well. They'll do well. Okay. Next up is Arun Kumar and his daughter, Natalia Kumar.
Natalia. Okay. Is it Arun? I wasn't sure if it was Aaron or.
Oh, it could very well be Aaron. I did not hear anyone pronounce it.
Okay, yeah, me neither. Because they don't have a video out yet where they like,
do not
say their names. So
apologies if that is incorrect.
Oh, sure. Yeah. We'll figure that out when the show premieres. But they're from Detroit. He's 56. She's 28. You know, I'll say like they both have sort of like corporate-y jobs. Like he's an operating partner. She's a project design lead. They are super fans. I read that they like have been watching the show since day one. You know, I think that parent-child teams are often some of my favorites. Like the dynamic is just really interesting to watch, and they just oftentimes are like very fun together. I think back to like James Earl and his mother, you know, and like those kinds of teams are just like great to watch. But
Mike
I would
and
say
his
like
dad.
Yeah, but like mixed results on how well they do, because sometimes with a parent, they're just not keeping up with the 29-year-olds who are stopping terrorists on trains in Europe. You know what I mean?
Is it mixed? Because I feel like it's always just out in the early half.
No, James Earl and his mother lasted like to top 4, I think.
Oh my God. Did they really?
I think they did. They made
That's
it far.
incredible. That's incredible
Probably
because
mostly because of him, but
yes, 90% because of him. But yeah, it's tough. I think they're cast because it is always or usually, an interesting story. We do love to
Mhm.
see the communication. There's always some sort of sentimental, tugging on our heartstrings when it comes to a parent being like, I just wanted to spend this time with my kid, or the kid being
Yeah.
like, I want to spend this time with my parent. Like, I don't know how long I have with them, that kind of vibe. So I think it will be lovely to see that. But yeah, of course, I'm worried. He
Yeah.
looks fit, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, can
But
they?
and I
Can they
think when
race?
they were like auditioning to be on the race, he grew up in India, so he was probably like, if we go to India, like I got this in the bag. But
Right?
then now they're just like traveling
Of
through
course,
Mediterranean
the
countries. So
one season they don't go to India. Like, yes, I like starred that as like a huge thing for them and then
yeah.
read, no, they're not going to India.
I
Like,
know.
not useful at all. She's a UX designer at Ford
Oh.
Motor Company.
Oh,
Um,
user experience. Okay.
Thank you. I didn't know
Mhm.
exactly what that is, but it is tech related. So
Yeah.
she's
Mhm.
smart,
Yeah.
but that doesn't always get you far on the race. So I actually noted that this might not be a team that returns. This might be an early
I
out
could see that. I
team.
could see that for sure. Yeah, she was hoping to get that million as like an early wedding gift. I guess she had like an upcoming wedding. I don't know if that upcoming wedding was like from when they
Right?
first started the race in 2020 or now, but either way, I doubt she got that money for her wedding. I
Right.
wouldn't
Maybe
doubt
she already got married and she was like, never mind, I don't need it
it. Yeah, right.
anymore. We're not coming
Yeah.
back. No, I don't know. All right, you guys. Next up, Caro, I believe is how we pronounce her name, and Ray. I've heard a lot
Okay.
about
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Met on Love Island, dating
Yeah.
couple at
It's like,
this point.
yeah, they finished third on Love Island. And this is that, like, I
Mm,
think this is the first example of someone from Love Island now like populating another CBS reality show. We've seen plenty of Big Brother on Amazing Race,
sure.
Survivor, and now we're adding Love Island. I think we had Winston from Big Brother join Love Island, but this is the first example of like Love Island joining another show.
Wow. I can't believe you had
I
that
know.
memory,
I
but
brought
good
that
on
up. I
you
brought that up. Yeah.
for having that memory. What I do remember is I've never watched Love Island, so I don't understand how you come in third place, but because they're together.
Oh,
So do they not
I
win
don't
the
know.
whole
There's
thing?
something about like I was trying to watch like a clip of the finale or because I don't watch either. I didn't realize that there was like some kind of prize at the end. But what I was watching, there's like a final two, and maybe it's like an America Votes kind of a situation for just their favorite couple or something.
Right.
But there was like one couple that won something. I don't know if it's money or what it is, but there is, it turns out, a winner of Love Island. And I guess these two came in third place. They didn't even make it to the final two. But
Well, I remember them being fan favorites because I remember
yeah,
actually, I do have a memory from early 2020 when they were spotted, going on The Amazing Race. Like it
yeah,
leaked that they had made it on and people were so excited to watch them. Here's
yeah.
here's the bad news, guys. They're not a couple anymore. They didn't last. They didn't make it. And so I'm putting my
No.
money on the fact that they logistically are not returning to the race. This one I think we
Oh
can
my
figure
God.
out
Oh my
pretty
God.
well because
Yep.
publicly, not a couple.
Wow, I read that he promised to move to LA because they were living on opposite
Mhm.
sides of the country. Like they didn't
Which
even
is
live in
hard.
the same city.
Yeah.
He was in New Jersey, she's in LA, and he had promised to move to LA if they won. And he said, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. So forget it. We're not even coming back.
Yeah. I don't know if they get eliminated in the first three legs, but
I mean,
they
I could see
do.
them. I could see them getting eliminated in the
Yeah,
first three legs.
exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if they got. I mean, I didn't watch Love Island. I really don't know them, but
Yeah.
they definitely broke up in July of 2020 is when she put a public video out. So I'm guessing when Amazing Race called, she was like, no. And he was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Although, let's be real, I would love it. I would have this is honestly a missed opportunity. The one
Truly.
time we shut down and come
Exes
back,
competing together? Whew,
exes,
that would
Phil
be
being like,
incredible.
what is it like racing with this person? And you're like, I don't care about this person. I'm here to win.
Or
Give
maybe
me
they
the
like
check,
rekindle
Phil.
their romance, you know?
Oh,
It's
you went
like,
the positive way.
yeah.
No, I'd just be like, I'm here to win. I don't care about this person.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my life with this person. That's what I
Yeah.
want to see.
I
That would be
only
funny.
care about him insofar as he's going to help me win $500,000 and he can
Yeah.
take his $500,000 and enjoy his life in New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah. So we're just going to check them off the list, guys. Not coming back. All right.
Not high hopes for them. No.
Connie and
right.
Sam Grenier.
Yes.
If I were
They
real
are
fancy.
married from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is 39. She's 37. Not a ton that I was able to find about them. They don't have like any kind of high profile story. They do not have a video out yet on the Instagram. Wait, what did you find?
They do have a high profile story. This is another feel good, wonderful story.
Is this quarterback who moved in with them? I couldn't like really make sense of that.
They got a little blindside story
okay.
for them. So yeah, he's a high school football coach in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this is a whole long story, but so his high school was stinky at football, and they hired him to like
one in like 60 years.
Yeah, they were like, we need a new high school coach to make a change, and they gave him the list of the students who academically could no longer play. Their grades were too low. So one of them was this kid, and he was like, look, you can't play, you have a low GPA. And the kid was like, oh my God, football's all I have. Turns out he and his sister were homeless and just like couch surfing, like wherever they can. Over time, this gentleman, Sam, is like trying to drop him off and help him, and then like eventually discovers that he's homeless and brings him into their home, and they, raise him from high school on, gets his GPA up. He can then play high school football. He can play football. And he gets a full scholarship to West Point.
Amazing.
Incredible. I love it.
That is really, really cool. And I don't know how much that translates to skills on the race, but again, like great to see people with great backstories, getting that lift.
Exactly.
Give you that national platform to tell that story. That's cool.
Exactly. Like, I hope that they enjoy the race. I don't know. I mean, he's probably really athletic, but sometimes football players can't run.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know that football coaches are always that athletic,
Yeah.
But he's competitive, I'm sure, All I could find on her was that she's a store manager in terms of like what she does. So like, I don't know what that means really. Is it retail or what? I don't know. But
exactly. There's not much information about Connie. I couldn't even find social media for her, but they'll, Amazing Race will put out something about her soon, or them soon. So interested to see how they do. Kim and Penn Holderness, you guys.
Kim and Penn.
They are YouTuber family.
YouTubers. They used to be news anchors, and they live in Raleigh, and they quit their jobs to become YouTube creators. And they have a Christmas Jammies music video that came out, several years ago at this point. 18 million views on that thing. Whoa. And they've got like almost 700,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. And it's just like them and their family. It looks like they do a lot of like parody song type things. But took a risk.
Yeah, you know what? Raleigh and Charlotte are very close to each other. It's like very interesting to me that they have a lot of North Carolina presence here. So the Holderness family, I was not aware of them before doing this research, but as soon as this cast was announced, several people in the Nerdtainment community said, oh my God, the Holderness family. So our community crosses over with theirs.
Got it.
Must mean that we're going to like them if
Uh-huh.
our community likes them. I did watch one of their videos, and I thought that they were very entertaining. So I feel like they're going to entertain us.
Yes.
And she seems like an absolute boss, which I love. I love anyone who quits their career and like creates their own thing.
Yeah.
Love that. And then also, let us not forget that, what was it? Season 27, the two news anchors won that season.
That's right. That's
So
right. Maybe
they
they'll
got that going for
follow
them.
up on that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're in their 40s. So whatever that means, they look
What
fit
do you
for
mean?
sure, both
What
of
does that
them. I'm
mean?
just saying, we were just talking about Natalia's father, Arun or Aaron, being 56 and not keeping up with 29-year-olds. And I would say the same about 45 and 47-year-olds. You're just at a different point in life. That does not mean that they will not succeed, but
no, y'all, my hips are just different. Like
29-year-olds, they don't talk about my hips this, my hips that, my back.
They don't even know they have hips. Like they are like, everything works seamlessly. And then every decade things stop working quite as well. So yeah, you can be as fit as you want, but once you're in your 40s, it just hits a little different when you have to run and lift and do things like that. So very excited to watch them. Very excited that we have crossover in our fan base there. So
it's cool.
Looking forward to that. Next is Lulu and Lala Gonzalez.
Now, do you think we're ever going to be able to tell the difference?
Yes, I have faith in us that we will figure it out.
They look like identical twins to me. However, in this picture, one of them looks slightly taller. So maybe they're just fraternal twins who look a lot alike. I know that does exist. Like I have cousins who are fraternal, and it's like, y'all look the same. But they are twins. Really cute energy. They do have a video out on the Instagram page currently. They're from North Bergen, New Jersey. They're radio hosts working for iHeartRadio. So like big personalities, like you have to have a huge personality if you work in radio. They're bilingual. They speak Spanish. Again, I think that would have helped on any other season, but this season probably not going to come into play so much. Maybe in Portugal, they'll I know they speak Portuguese there, but like they're similar. So that may give them a little bit of an advantage if they make it that far. They were sort of zeroing in on like, we worked at a hardware store for 5 years, so we are not afraid to get our hands dirty. And I was like, that is a stretch for me.
That's a stretch. Okay. And I was like, wait, were you originally supposed to be cast in Tough as Nails? Is that why we're bringing that up? Okay. Look, I think that twins is a special skill. And I could see a difference in the video. They do, their faces are a little bit different. So I think we'll be able to figure it out. But I think twins do know what each other are thinking. They finish each other's sentences. Like there is a twin language vibe there that is probably going to be helpful on this race. And yeah, I starred that they're bilingual, could have been a bigger deal in a different season, but maybe it does help them in Portugal. And they can dance. They've got rhythm. That's
Sometimes
important.
You need that.
Yes. So these are the things boding well for them. Hopefully it will keep them in the race. It's hard.
Yeah, they seem fun.
Female teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next up is Michael Norwood and Mo Badger are singing cops.
Singing police officers. I mean, look at this pair. This is amazing. This is the kind of team I love to see on The Amazing Race. Like, they're not necessarily opposites, but just like, this is a visually striking pair. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Visually, yes. We look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito is what we got here. But y'all, they are cops.
Yeah.
Obviously fit. And they sing and they've got rhythm. So I'm so excited about them.
They're going to be personality for sure. Michael is the taller one. He is 36, Mo is 42, and Michael lost 50 pounds in the lead up to the race. So he was like really getting in shape to do this. And I just think they're going to be so much fun to watch. And I hope that they are, like physically keeping up and all of that. Like, I don't see any reason why they can't. So I hope they do, because I think that I'm going to like them a lot as a team.
The fact that they're partners as police officers, that's like another thing where you have to have like your own language. Like you have to pick up on their energy and what they're going to do in pretty difficult situations. So I feel like they can communicate well on The Amazing Race. I think that that's a big, big benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine being a cop and like your partner just has to know you so well and know how to work with you. A challenge on The Amazing Race should be a piece of cake.
Yeah,
right?
Truly. I wasn't sure what to make of singing police officers, because when I read it first, I was like, oh, they're like cops in a barbershop quartet or something. And then it just looks like they both sing.
No, they just sing.
They just have good singing voices.
And like, I guess, talk about it a lot so people know about it.
Right.
And like anytime there's a holiday party or something, they're like, get the guys that sing. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I will say that picture, Sarah, is us when we get cast on The Amazing Race, but like even worse. Like y'all can't necessarily tell because this is how we look all the time. We look the same size, but I'm like a full foot taller than Sarah. So
he is. He is. That is exactly how we look. When people see us together for the first time, they're like,
whoa.
Oh, okay. All right. This is a thing. Yeah. Did you know, I know you didn't watch, I'm going to do a sidebar. You didn't watch Dancing with the Stars, but were you aware of Iman, the basketball player who
just won? Yeah.
Who just won the season?
Yeah.
They made such a big deal about how tall he was, and like he did look kind of tall and lanky and all that. Douglas was the one that pointed out that he's your height.
Oh, really?
Y'all are the same height. I was like, well, then he's not that tall, but then again, that's just because I'm used to you.
You're used to me, yeah.
But it's like if I had become your dancing instructor, a foot lower than you, and had to teach you how to dance, it would be awkward.
I personally am impressed that he won that show, because I always think when I watch Dancing with the Stars, which like you say is not always, but I have seen it, and I'm always like, dancing just looks so much better on small bodies because there's less body to move, like the extensions. They just whip that short arm straight out there. And I'm like still whipping mine out like 3 seconds later, So for him to be that tall and to win, that's impressive.
It was impressive. He never quite got the extension right. I mean, it still was like this. I wouldn't say he was the best dancer, but his choreographer, his partner really knew how to utilize him. And they did some really great performances together. So I was definitely okay and supportive of his win because he did come very far. But it still was like, here are my arms. And she's like, this to him, I am 5'4". The chat is asking.
Oh, I'm over a foot taller than you.
Yeah. You are 6'5".
Yeah.
Correct. I'm 5'4" and David is 6'5". David is the height of Iman, y'all.
Yeah.
Mind blown. Okay, that was my tangent.
Yes.
There. Let's move back to our cast here.
Yep.
Raquel Lamore and Kayla Platt.
31 and 30 flight attendants. So they, don't live in the same city. They're from Chicago and Gulf Breeze, Florida. Not much that I could find on them. They do have a video on the Amazing Race page, but it just doesn't, I don't know. They're talking, they've got personality. They seem fun. They are used to travel and living out of a suitcase. Like, I think that only really gets you so far. Like, if they were navigating airports in the same way that they were on previous seasons, I'd be like, yes, leg up for sure. But they're just on a private plane, but they just think people are going to underestimate them. And
yes, including me. I was going to say,
I might be one of those people.
Hopefully more comes out about them. And then honestly, like, hopefully we see more on the show. But like, the video that they put together for us, I was like, this is it. Like, okay, great. Y'all met and you are flight attendants, which yes,
Right.
flight attendants, great skill set. You understand how to navigate airports. Guess what? We don't go to airports. Like this is again skills that might have been more useful in a different season.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Kayla look like Christine from BB16? Does anyone else see it?
Yes. Yes. I didn't even get
I
the
don't
sense that
know.
they were like especially close. Like they weren't like we're flight attendants and best friends. Like we're always on the same flight and we, speak the same language. It's like we're sisters. Like there's none of that. It's just like I guess they maybe work. I don't even know if they work for the same airline.
Right. It wasn't like we met as flight attendants and then we took amazing trips together to Paris
Yeah.
and to Germany. And like they didn't give us any of that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the video felt to me like one of these girls had been cast for Love Island or
Love Island.
something else. And then the people were like, no, it's not going to work. Do you have someone you could like do Amazing Race with? Like, let's talk to your friend. And they were like, oh yeah, another flight attendant. Like I felt like very put together.
Uh-huh.
Now, maybe we just don't have enough information, but like,
yeah,
that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah. I'm just going to have to sort of like withhold some judgment. I am judging them a little bit. I'm underestimating them. Sorry.
Right.
But I will withhold some judgment until I see them on the show because I'm just not getting a real sense of their relationship and their skills and all of that stuff,
Right. I didn't even get a sense that they were like entertaining and I need at least that, like I need you to be funny or something. So
I want to root for them because like love a female pair,
Of course.
But,
right. No. Fingers crossed, but I did put down here possibly not returning. Another reason, like even if they're not eliminated early here, like what if they're not really best friends and they didn't come back after COVID? Like I don't know. Like I just feel like maybe this one's not lasting. That's my gut on that.
Yeah.
Our early judgments there. Okay, next up is Ryan Ferguson and Dusty Harris, you guys.
Oh my God.
Some more friends, some more bro friends.
Bro friends met in junior high. They are 37 and 38 years old from Columbia, Missouri. They met in junior high, but then they spent 8 years not being friends who hung out all the time because Ryan went to jail for murder that he did not commit.
This is a story, y'all.
This is crazy.
10 years in jail. He spent 10 years in prison for murder that he did not commit. Was eventually, like, details eventually came out and things were cleared up. But Ryan is the one on the left.
Yeah.
So does it this one? And there is a documentary on Netflix called Dream Killer. Like Dream/Killer, which is a docuseries of his father trying to get him out of prison. Like his father went kind of like, oh my God, I got to get my son out.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. Google it because the story about like how the like murder, like how he was convicted doesn't even make sense.
It's weird because like it's very sad on all fronts, right? Like someone was murdered, which is tragic, of course. This like newspaper sports editor was like found dead in a parking lot, strangled to death or something. Ryan was like a 17-year-old in high school when the murder happened. And then the murder went unsolved for 2 years. And then some guy comes forward and he was like partying with Ryan the night that the murder happened. And he like couldn't remember what happened that night. And for some reason thought that he was involved in this murder. And then eventually, even though he didn't remember the evening, confessed to the murder and implicated Ryan. And they like found another witness, like a building employee or something who also.
But the building employee was just Ryan. Like, yeah, that's probably him. It was like shadowy figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably them. Like it.
So.
What? Like,
it's
first
crazy.
off, so it was like a Halloween night. So the two of them are out partying. The friend was like on a lot. I don't know what Ryan had that night, but the friend had a lot of stuff in his system, blacked out, does not remember the night, but was fearful the next day when they said there was a murder. he thought he might have had something to do with it. Like, there was a bartender who was like, no, they were at the bar. Like, there was no proof that they did anything, but yet 10 years in prison. I mean, it's just
well, and then
absolutely insane.
The witnesses, this guy and this building employee, later recanted their testimony, saying that the police and prosecutors were coercing them to lie. So that's horrible. So Ryan ended up winning $11 million in a civil suit against the police. He's been, I mean, you know, there was that documentary you mentioned. His story was on 48 Hours, Dateline. He hosted an MTV show called Unlocking the Truth, which was like about other possible cases of wrongful conviction. He's now like a podcast host. I feel like, you know, this is still a very significant part of his life.
He seems like he's definitely focused on, you know, helping the justice system, legal issues, like bringing awareness to the problems in the legal system. Like, definitely seems like something he's still a champion of and working towards. So another team with a really great story to share. I mean, not that that's a great story, but like,
no, but I'm imagining like how they're gonna like do the package of this, like when that's gonna come out, it's gonna be like very well done and intense, I'm sure. I see them lasting a long time. Ryan's like super into fitness because apparently when he was going to jail, his dad was like, I'm not going to be able to protect you in there. You need to figure out how to become stronger, smarter, faster as quickly as possible before you go to prison. So he like started to get into like his health and fitness, and now he's like a Spartan athlete. So, you know, they're going to do well with any kind of like physical challenges on the race. And I definitely see them performing well. I could see them like top 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I hate to you just two guys together who are like halfway fit are obviously going to do well unless they're complete idiots, which rarely happens. There's not much about the friend, Dusty. Don't know much about him, but if he owns a B&B,
is the only thing I can find. Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah.
They'll be around, and if they don't return, it's because of something logistics. You know, they definitely aren't eliminated early. I
doubt it. Yeah.
All right, here's our last team, you guys. We got Taylor and Isaiah Green-Jones.
Yes, 38 Taylor, 31 Isaiah. They got married in 2019. They live in Portland, Oregon, and their wedding flash mob that they choreographed went viral, and they're YouTube sensations because they did up this like incredible hip hop routine at their reception.
They did. You've seen the video. When I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this video. It's adorable. You know, it starts out with them dancing at their wedding and then more people join in. It's really cute. One of them, I believe it's Taylor, is an actual dancer. He teaches like hip hop exercise.
Cardio hip hop.
Cardio hip hop. Thank you. So he wanted to put it together, but I love anyone who can dance on this race. Like, you got to have rhythm for some of these challenges. I appreciate that. Even though they're called YouTube sensations, I could not find a YouTube channel. I could not find any other.
I think it's just that their video went viral on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, great. I think that's it. Because Isaiah's a social worker. Taylor, it said he's a gatekeeping analyst, which I have no idea what that means. Maybe we'll learn more on the show. Okay. But yeah, they are not YouTubers. I don't think they just had a viral video. Yes,
viral video. And I mean, they are adorable. I cannot wait to root for them.
I know.
So fun. I'm excited about them for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Whoops.
That's the cast.
That's the cast. David, did you pick a top 3?
I didn't, but I could do it right now.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Here's my top 3. I do not know in what order they will finish. I'm not saying who's a winner, but our top 3, my pick is the guys we just saw, Taylor and Isaiah.
Oh, okay.
Our singing cops, Michael and Mo.
Okay.
And our Holderness family, Kim and Penn. That's my top 3.
Hey, I'm going to pick the Holderness. Anthony and Spencer, the terrorist guys. They're not terrorists. They subdued.
They're not terrorists.
The heroes. Yes, the heroes. Thank you. And I will go ahead and say Ryan and Dusty. The Ryan is the wrongfully convicted guy.
Right.
Oh,
All right.
I mean, it bums me out to pick two
just dudes. You're just picking all the dudes.
teams.
But then again, I did too.
You did too. Thank you.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
You know what? As much as I would love to pick 2 women team, it's rare. It's going to be rare.
It's not, and there's only 2 in this cast, right? It's just the flight attendants,
right?
And the twins.
The twins.
The twins, I could see like top 4 or 5, maybe, but I don't see them top 3.
Yeah, those 2 teams, I'm not sure about. So yeah. I mean, like we said, there's some really great stories in here. Not sure how it all come out, but I'm hoping that some people get to share the positivity that they're doing in life. That's amazing. Right. Yeah. I'm excited that people get to know about their stories, and then we can just hope that they like have fun and then like have like a little bit of bickering, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right?
It's going to be so fun.
I'm very excited. So again, the premiere is January 5th. It's 2 hours starting at 8 p.m.
Yep.
So prepare for that, guys. And we will be live immediately following.
So hit that bell, because then you're going to find out when we go live.
Yes. So. And I do believe we will have exit interview press for you after the eliminations, but it will not be until the reset. So they are managing the first part a little different.
Okay.
So looking forward to, after the reset, getting more involved and getting to speak with the cast that actually makes it.
Yeah, right.
You know, to that
part.
Yeah.
Yay! So exciting. I'm so glad we have another season of Amazing Race.
I know. I'm really worried we're not going to have too many more, but
I know.
Glad that we get this one. And we'll, of course, let you know if we hear, a new one. Oh, you know what? We will have one more because they are casting that right now. No, they're casting. Okay. Yeah. They're casting for the next season. So they're hopefully, although the last one they shelved forever. So
who knows?
But at least they're working towards season 34. That's at least happening. You guys in the chat, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking about all the teams with us and being excited with us. We love it.
We do. And if you're joining us later, let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Let us know who your top 3 is, and let us know who you think doesn't make it to the reset. Curious who you think the early eliminations will be as well.
Yeah, who's going out early? Who makes the reset? And who's your top 3? That's the important questions, you guys.
That's right.
I want to wish you, and maybe David, hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. Stop. Oh my God.
Okay, we're going to do a reset.
Reset. Okay. Reset. Welcome to the show. No, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, a happy new year. David and I will be back right after the new year.
Yeah.
But we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your year. Get some relaxation in.
That's right.
Eat a lot.
Yes. Spend time with family if you're able to. All the things that you want to do, and be safe. And it's only like a week. It's not, I mean, we are really,
it's really only a week.
We usually like wrap things up around like the 15th or something, but we had more to cover, and we weren't going to let you guys down. We were going to be here for you this holiday season. So we will take a week off.
Right.
And
I'm going on holiday. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying at home, but it's a holiday. You couldn't pay me to travel right now. Just going to be at home with my dogs.
Yes, being safe.
Yes, being safe. All right, you guys, we will see you in the new year. Bye.
Yes, see you then. Bye.